Hi there, welcome to my 2003 Big Garden Birdwatch. So it's that time of year again when the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds conduct their largest citizen-led survey, which is called the Big Garden Birdwatch. And at the end of January, people all over the UK sit down for an hour and count the birds in their garden. And I'm going to do it this weekend. In this video, I'm going to give you lots of facts about the Big Garden Birdwatch. Stay tuned to the end and I'll give you a comparison to how many birds I see this weekend compared with this time last year. So hopefully in this video you'll see some nice pictures of birds in my garden and also find out lots of facts, but either way, I know I'm really going to enjoy my photography. Just before the video gets started, I want to let you know of a few ways that you can support the channel. There are lots of items in my Teespring store, and there's a link for that down below in the description. A really big thank you to everybody that's bought something. It's such a big help and it really is appreciated. You can also do all the stuff with the buttons down below, such as clicking like, subscribe and sharing the videos, and don't forget to click the bell. Thanks so much for watching. Now sit back and I hope you enjoy the video. Because I'm a member of the RSPB, I was always going to conduct the survey this weekend, but I wasn't actually going to film it until one of my subscribers persuaded me to do so. So I thought I'd make the video a little bit different. I would include some photographs and video from this morning, but also give you lots of information in case you want to take part in the Big Garden Birdwatch in a coming year. And it's also interesting to find out how the survey does help give us an understanding of bird life in the UK. So I've spent the last hour sitting in my hide counting the birds that I've seen in my garden. And the way that the survey works is you're only allowed to count birds that you see at a specific time. So if you count, say for instance, 3 goldfinch sitting on a twig, then you can use that as a count of 3. If they then fly away and come back again, you can't count those as extra birds because it could be the same individual. So just to make sure that you're not exaggerating how many actual birds come to your garden, you can only count however many you see in one go. So if a flock of sparrows came and landed and you could count 12 at once, which I've sometimes done in my garden, then you could count that as 12. But if they fly away and come back again, then you've got to start counting again from what you see at that time. By the time you watch this video, it'll be too late to take part in the 2003 Big Garden Birdwatch because it takes place at the end of January over one weekend. And so if you are interested in taking part next year, what I'll do is I'll put a link up here and down below in the description that'll give you all the information about what you need to do if you're taking part in the survey next year. So this is the 44th year that the Big Garden Birdwatch has taken place, and last year nearly 700,000 people took part, making it the largest citizen-led survey in the UK. As a result of the Big Garden Birdwatch, the RSPB creates what is called the Red List, which keeps track of how 245 different species of birds are trending, and if they are at risk, they go onto the Red List. And for the first time in 2021, greenfinches entered the Red List. When the survey started back in 1979, greenfinches came in at number 8 on the list of popularity, but by 2022 they had dropped to 19, and this is mainly down to a disease called trichomoniasis that wiped out lots of these birds. One way that you can reduce the spread of this disease is to make sure that your feeders, bird baths and tables are kept clean, and you should do this at least once a week. But it's not all bad news. Goldfinches have increased by 50% over the last decade, moving into position number 7 on the table, and great tits have also moved up into position 8, and that's up 54% since the survey began in 1979. Another bird that has taken a decline is the song thrush. This was at number 10 in 1979, but has dropped by 81% down to position number 19 in 2022. Now, another bird that has started to decline is the house sparrow. Now, this cheeky chappie did come in at number 1 on the 2022 survey, but it has dropped by 58% since the survey began, and that means it's been put onto the red list for species that are at risk. One project from Leicester suggested that the sparrow chicks might be suffering from a lack of invertebrates to eat. Another team from the Institute of Zoology, in collaboration with the RSPB, found that 74% of London house sparrows carried a form of avian malaria. So it's possible that warmer, wetter weather has increased the population of mosquitoes, which has increased the transmission of this disease. But there is some cause for optimism though, because over the last decade, the big Garden Birdwatch has shown that the house sparrow population has increased by 11%. The reason for the decline in garden bird sightings is quite complex and has continued to be investigated. Fewer green spaces, pollution and climate change are all possible factors that are being looked into. So by understanding what's going on, we'll be able to better help birds, and certainly feeding the birds in our garden will give them some way of surviving over the winter to give them the best chances. Now, I've really noticed a decline of birds just in my own back garden. When I come out into the hide, I don't see birds as frequently or as large a variety of species. Also, when I put out food, it doesn't tend to be eaten as quickly. I used to put out a whole tube of sunflower hearts every day, and now it can take 4 or 5 days before I need to refill the tube. So it really is a strong indication that bird numbers are down. What I'll do is I'll put this year's bird count just here and last year's just here, so you can compare the difference. When you look at how many I've seen this year compared with last year, the amount of species is way down, and also the numbers of each of the individuals is also down as well. And so this seems like it's a trend that's happening in a lot of different places, because I've also had quite a few neighbours who have said that they put out food for birds, or I've just got birds on their ponds, and they just haven't seen anywhere near as many. The whole population does tend to be a lot lower just at the moment, and I know we have been suffering from avian flu in the UK, so that might be some kind of factor as well. Well, I do hope you found that video informative. The Big Garden Birdwatch is really useful to give us an indication about how species of birds are doing in the UK. Yes, it gives us some sad news about certain species that are on a decline, but also we've got some optimistic news from species that are doing really well. If you have enjoyed this video, do let me know down below in the comments. Sign up over to my Vero account, that's at Oakden Photography. Leave me your comments there, and you can also see lots of my photographs. Now, if you like what I do on the channel and want to help support me to make future content like this, you can also visit my Teespring store. There I've got a range of merchandise on offer, so head over there, check that out, because a purchase really does help me out. And also, don't forget the super thanks button as well. But you don't have to spend any money at all to support the channel. You can do that simply by clicking like, subscribe, and the bell notifications, because it really helps me out and it makes sure that you don't miss out on any future content. Watch out for next week's video, that goes live on Sunday. In the meantime, go and check out this video just up here. But all that's left now is to say, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.